Where did Gandalf go after he left the Shire? Why did it take him 17 years to complete this mission? And what Middle-earth shattering discoveries did he uncover along the way? Hi everyone, welcome to Middle-earth Unveiled. Thank you for choosing to spend your time here. I'll make sure it's worth it. Gandalf's journey was far more than a ride through Middle-earth. It was a high-stakes investigation, a race against time to uncover ancient truths and stop a growing shadow. From the archives of Minas Tirith to the dark forests of Mirkwood, Gandalf's path shaped the fate of the world. Here we'll unravel the mystery of what happened during those 17 years, and the choices Gandalf made that changed Middle-earth from this point forward. Like the kids say, bare time to waste, let's get stuck in. Gandalf's departure from the Shire after Bilbo's 111th birthday party is one of those moments that feels like the calm before the storm. He leaves Frodo with a cryptic warning about the ring and rides off into the night. But where does he go? And why does it take him almost 2 decades to return? If you've only seen the movies, you might remember this timeline being compressed. In Peter Jackson's adaptation, Gandalf returns to the Shire much sooner, rushing back to warn Frodo after a quick trip to Minas Tirith. But in Tolkien's books, and in our story today, Gandalf's investigation takes 17 years. Now why so long? Because Gandalf isn't just a wizard. He's a detective at this point. He's piecing together a puzzle that spans millennia, from the fall of Isildur to the rise of Sauron. Every scroll he reads, every ally he consults, brings him closer to the truth, but it also gives Sauron more time to grow stronger. So, while the movies streamline this timeline for pacing, the books and our script restore the full weight of those 17 years. It's a reminder that Gandalf's patience wasn't just a virtue, it was truly a necessity. Suffer me this. What would you do in Gandalf's place? Rush into action or take your time to gather allies and clues? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. To understand Gandalf's journey, we need to look at his role as one of the Istari. The Istari, better known as the Wizards, were not mere mortals. They were Maiar, spirits sent by the Valar, the guardians of the world, to guide Middle-earth during its darkest hours. 5 were chosen, each carrying the burden of wisdom and restraint. Their mission? To inspire hope and unity, not to dominate with their power. But there was a catch. The Istari were forbidden to reveal the full extent of their power. As Tolkien wrote, their strength lay not in displays of might, but in their influence over the free peoples of Middle-earth. This limitation tested their character and revealed their flaws. Saruman the White was the greatest of their order, but his pride became his downfall. He sought to dominate rather than guide, choosing the path of power over humility. His gaze turned to the One Ring, and he was consumed by his own ambition. Radagast the Brown was drawn to the beauty of nature. While his love for the wild was pure, he lost sight of his broader purpose, retreating into the woods and leaving the world to face its trials without him. And then there was Gandalf. Unlike Saruman or Radagast, Gandalf understood the true meaning of his mission. He walked among the free peoples, earning their trust not through force, but through wisdom, kindness, and quiet strength. As Tolkien described him, a servant of the secret fire. Gandalf's power was tempered by humility. In Unfinished Tales, Tolkien wrote, he was the only one who remained faithful to his charge, for he alone among the Istari perceived the true peril of the shadow and was at pains to oppose it. With this charge firmly in mind that he set on this important journey. I can't help but mention it here. Did you know Gandalf's name means Elf of the Wand in Old Norse? Tolkien borrowed it from Norse mythology, transforming an ancient name into a timeless character who walks the line between mystery and might. Cool, innit? But I digress. After leaving the Shire, Gandalf's first stop is Rivendell. Here he consults with Elrond and the White Council, voicing his fears about the ring. But this isn't a social call. Gandalf is gathering intelligence on the Nazgul's movements and the shadow spreading eastward. From Rivendell, he rides south to Gondor. Picture the halls of Minas Tirith, where the air is thick with the scent of aged parchment. Gandalf, hunched over a candlelit desk, pores through ancient scrolls, searching for answers. And then he finds it. A passage written by Isildur himself, describing the One Ring. It was hot when I first took it, hot as a gleed, and my hand was scorched, so that I doubt if ever again I shall be free of the pain of it. Yet even as I write, it is cooled, and it seemeth to shrink, though it loseth neither its beauty nor its shape. Already the writing upon it, which at first was as clear as red flame, fadeth and is now only barely to be read. It is fashioned in an elven script of Era-Gion, for they have no letters in Mordor for such subtle work, but the language is unknown to me. I deem it to be a tongue of the Black Land, since it is foul and uncouth. What evil it saith I do not know, but I trace here a copy of it, lest it fade beyond recall. Mic drop. This passage is a bombshell. Gandalf now has proof that the ring Bilbo found is the One Ring. Isildur's description of the fiery script, the pain it caused him, and its unyielding power all point to one unwelcome conclusion. Sauron's greatest weapon has resurfaced. Still reeling, or at least in my mind, he was still reeling from all that he discovered. Gandalf then went further east into the lands of Rhûn and Harad. But for what reason? Well, these regions far beyond the borders of Gondor and Rohan are where Sauron's influence festers. Rhûn, the land of the Easterlings, and Harad, home to the fierce Haradrim, are both under the shadow of Mordor. Gandalf knows that Sauron is not just a threat in the west. He's building alliances, gathering armies, and spreading his darkness across all of Middle-earth. By venturing into these lands, Gandalf is doing two things. One, he is gathering intelligence. He's learning about Sauron's movements, his allies, and his plans. And two, he is trying to counter Sauron's influence. Gandalf is sowing seeds of resistance, encouraging the free peoples of the East to stand against the Dark Lord. Every mile eastward brings him closer to the enemy's domain, and closer to the truth. Do you think Gandalf should have acted sooner, or was his patience a strength? Sound off below. With newfound knowledge, Gandalf returns to the White Council. He urges them to act against Sauron, but Saruman dismisses him coldly. The One Ring is lost forever. Sauron is no threat. Let him rot in the shadows. This is a pivotal moment. Gandalf senses something is off. Saruman's pride has blinded him. That much is clear. But is it mere arrogance, or something darker? Gandalf doesn't yet know Saruman has turned traitor. That revelation comes later. But at this moment, he realizes something critical. The Council's inaction isn't just a mistake. It's a symptom of a deeper rot. And that rot is fear. Saruman, once the wisest of the Istari, is now consumed by his own ambition. He secretly craves the ring for himself, believing he can outwit Sauron. But Gandalf's instincts are sharp. He recognizes Saruman's dismissal isn't just stubbornness, it's a refusal to see the truth, a crack in the once wise leader's judgment. Peter Jackson's movies simplify this, portraying Saruman as openly power-hungry earlier on. But in Tolkien's version, Saruman's fall is subtler. Gandalf leaves the council troubled, not yet certain of Saruman's treachery, but deeply suspicious of his motives. This moment forces Gandalf to act alone. Without the council's support, he begins recruiting allies, Aragorn, Frodo, and eventually, the Fellowship, setting the stage for the quest to destroy the ring. But before he can rally the free peoples, Gandalf needs proof. He needs to confirm beyond any doubt that Bilbo's ring is the One Ring, and for that, he needs Gollum. Out of all the things Gandalf needs to do, his most urgent task is tracking down Gollum. He knows Gollum holds the answers he needs, the missing piece of the puzzle that can confirm the true nature of the ring. This isn't a leisurely stroll, it's a race. Every day, Gollum roams free is a day Sauron's spies could find him first. With Aragorn's help, Gandalf tracks Gollum across Middle-earth from the forests of Mirkwood to the edges of Sauron's influence. And when they finally capture him, Gandalf makes a chilling discovery. Gollum's story confirms Bilbo's ring is the One Ring. By the way, we're creating an episode about the Hunt for Gollum. Subscribe if you want to be notified about it. This discovery shifts the axis of Middle-earth's fate. Gandalf now holds a truth that's both a beacon of hope and a harbinger of doom. The ring is here, not lost in the depths of the Anduin, or buried in the ruins of Mordor, but in the hands of an unlikely hobbit. He feels a sense of both triumph and dread. After years of searching, Gandalf finally has the proof he needs. The fiery inscription on the ring, revealed in the hearth of Bag End when he threw it into Bilbo's fireplace, is irrefutable. It's not just a ring, it's the ring. With this knowledge, Gandalf can rally the free peoples of Middle-earth. He can convince the skeptical, awaken the complacent, and prepare the world for the storm that is coming. This is his moment to act, to shape the course of history. But like I said, with that triumph comes dread. The ring's discovery is not just a victory, it's a ticking clock. Sauron will stop at nothing to reclaim his lost treasure. The shadows in the east are growing darker, the whispers of the enemy louder. Every moment that passes brings Sauron closer to realizing the truth. The ring is within his grasp, and if he reclaims it, all will be lost. The fate of Middle-earth, its people, its lands, its very soul, hangs in the balance. Imagine here with me the weight of that realization. Gandalf, the wise and tireless wanderer, now carries the burden of knowing that the future of an entire world rests on what happens next. It's a burden that would crush a lesser being, but Gandalf is no ordinary soul. And yet even he must tread carefully, for the ring's corrupting influence spares no one. This is the heart of Gandalf's journey, a choice between action and caution, between hope and despair. He knows the ring's power could corrupt even the strongest will, yet he also knows that doing nothing guarantees Sauron's victory. For Gandalf, the path forward isn't just about defeating Sauron, it's about trusting others to play their part, even when the odds seem impossible. Well, now that's a lot to put on hope. As we close, let's explore this conundrum. Some argue Gandalf should have acted sooner. Why 17 years? I believe the answer lies in the ring's insidious power. This isn't just a weapon, it's a force of corruption capable of twisting even the wisest minds. Gandalf knew that one misstep, one moment of overconfidence or haste could doom him, just as it doomed Saruman. His patience wasn't hesitation. It was a shield, a deliberate choice to move carefully in the face of unimaginable danger. But Gandalf's patience wasn't born of fear. It was rooted in hope. Even as he pieced together the truth about the ring, even as he saw the shadow of Sauron growing darker, he refused to give in to despair. When all seemed lost, he declared during the siege of Gondor, "It is not despair, for despair is only for those who see the end beyond all doubt. We do not." Those words aren't just a rallying cry or an encouragement to those who would heed it. It was a manifesto, a declaration of Gandalf's unshakable belief in the possibility of victory, no matter how slim the odds. His patience wasn't just strategy, it was an act of defiance against inevitability. While Saruman succumbed to pride, and Sauron to hatred, Gandalf chose to trust in the resilience of the free peoples. This is what sets Gandalf apart. He isn't just a wizard, he's a guide and a beacon of hope. His 17-year search wasn't a delay. It was a testament to his faith in the resilience of the free peoples and the courage of ordinary individuals to rise against darkness. So, where did Gandalf go after he left the Shire? He embarked on a journey that would shape the fate of Middle-earth, a journey that took him from the libraries of Minas Tirith to the wilds of Rhûn, from the halls of the White Council to the dark forests where Gollum lurked. Every step he took, every clue he uncovered, brought him closer to the truth about the ring and the growing shadow of Sauron. He had a thing to do, and he did it. As Gandalf says, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. Thanks again, friends, for spending this time with me. If you enjoyed this deep dive, consider giving us a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. It helps us do what we do. Let me know in the comments, should we explore the Blue Wizards next? Rumour has it they quote-unquote succeeded in the East. Thanks for watching. See you soon.